In our previous video, we worked with annuities and with future value. Now we're going to be working with present value, and we're going to be doing discounting, right? Um, so think of this as how much money are you going to be paying every month if you receive or if you deposit money today, right? Think of this as a loan, right? Think of this as a mortgage. You get $300,000 today. How much am I going to be paying every month for the next 30 years, right? So this is what we're going to be doing. Um, this is something similar, right? Similar problem as what we did before, right? Payment of $100 at the end of each year for 5 years. Interest rate is 8%. So we know 5, we know 8, we know 100 negative, and we go to 0 for future value, right? And we compute present value, and there you go, 399.27. So what does this mean? Okay, we can see it two ways. We can see it as if we put $399.27 in the bank today, and interest rates are 8%, we should be able to receive $100 every year for 5 years. Now, you say, okay, $400, how can you receive $500, for 5 payments of 100 if you put $400 in the bank today? Well, interest, right? That's the key. We mentioned before, and I'll mention it again. Interest is the most important part of these calculations, right? You can also see this as, well, if you need a loan and you can pay $100 every year, how much money can you receive today? And that amount is $399.27, right? So if you receive $399.27, you can pay $100 every year for 5 years. So here it is, right? Well, we can assume an inflow of $399.27 and then outflows of $100 per year for 5 years, right? Now, there's a special type of annuity called perpetuity. Before, when we were talking about ordinary annuities, we were saying that they pay exactly the same amount of money and at the same, with the same spacing time-wise, and it had an end. Now, perpetuities don't have an end, right? Perpetuities are paid forever. Stocks, for example, preferred stocks. If you buy a stock, stocks don't have expiration date, and stocks are supposed to be paying you money, dividends. This case, preferred stocks. If you have a preferred stocks, you have preference in the payment of dividends. So you're going to be receiving dividends every year forever, basically, right? Forever. Now, there's no function in your calculators to find out perpetuities, but the formula is pretty simple, right? So the present value of our perpetuity, it's equal to the payment divided by the interest rate, right? So yes, let's say in the previous example, what if we receive $100 forever, right? And the interest rate, let's say, is 6%, so 0.06. Well, the perpetuity is worth $1,666.67, right? In other words, if we pay $1,666.67 today, we can receive $100 every year forever. Now it sounds like a great deal, right? I mean, $1,700, we're going to receive more than that, right? I mean, we're going to live more than 17 years, right? Now, don't forget that the name of the game right now is time value of money. Don't forget about time value of money. As we're going to be receiving $100 every year. Don't forget that as we move along in time, that those $100 are not going to be worth the same as our $100 today, right? $100 in 10 years, oh, they might be worth what $50 are worth today, right? $100 in 20 years might be worth what $25 are worth today, right? And as we go further into the future, those $100 are going to be worth less and less and less, right? That's why we say that $1,666.67, it's equal to $100 every year forever, assuming our interest rate is 6%, right? Now, we have another type of annuity. This different type is called annuity due. Now, in our ordinary annuities, and I tried to stress this in the previous video, we said that we were paying at the end of every period. Now with annuity dues, we're going to be paying at the beginning of each period. Think of it as paying rent. If you pay rent, you have to pay rent at the beginning of the month, not at the end of the month, right? Now, this will have an effect in our calculations. If we make a deposit at the beginning of the month or at the beginning of a year, as opposed to the end of the year, we're going to be earning interest. This is the whole point. This is the whole thing about annuity due. We're going to be earning or we're going to be owing more interest. So we need to account for that. Now, this is what I was telling you, right? The cash flows are at the beginning, not at the end, right? So if we were doing $100, instead of doing it years 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we start at year 0. We shift everything 1 year in advance. Now, this sounds like a very confusing thing. It is not, I promise. Just think about, in an annuity due, we are going to be making a deposit a year early, or we're going to be receiving 1 more year of interest. Therefore, in order for us to calculate the value of an annuity due, we need to have our value of an ordinary annuity and then multiply it times 1 plus the interest rate, because we're earning 1 year or 1 period of interest rate. And that's it. That's exactly it. For example, the previous example that we had, $100 every month for 5 years. Interest rate is 8%. Well, our original number was 586.66. If we change this into an annuity due, we multiply that amount times 1.08. Ends up being 633.59. So this means that, now, here's the thing. Why is there a difference from 586.66 to 633.59? One word, interest. We're earning 1 more year of interest, right? We're earning an extra 8% on this amount. Therefore, an annuity due is going to be worth 633.59, whereas a regular annuity is 586.66. It is the same with present value of an annuity due. We are adding an additional month, an additional period, right? Month, year, or whatever it is. Same as our previous example. In our previous example for present value, we had an answer of $399.27. Well, we multiply